Hey guys, today I'm pretty depressed. I feel shit. Nothing makes sense. Um, and I don't know, I have these thoughts, uh, recurring thoughts most of my life. I don't know the solution really, but it just drives me crazy. I keep thinking about the life we have today, the modern life we have today, and it doesn't make much sense. If you think about it, Uh, so when you're young, they put you in a school at a very early age when you don't even know what you want to do or who you are, and then you learn a lot of stuff in the school that is absolutely useless. I'm not saying it's pointless because it makes some sense, but not from your life point of view, but from some other person's point of view. So really, you're not teaching you anything practical things in life. It's not going to help you how to interact with each other, how to find out who you are, how to find out what you want. Basically, they are training you to be a resource, to someone else, someone who is more powerful than you are. That's the school system is about in general. You're not even interested in that. They don't care about you. They look at you like you're a resource, and you have to be a proper resource. And then they say you have to go to college or you have to go to university. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You'll be a nobody. Like, I'm not a nobody with a college degree. That's not totally doesn't make any sense. So you probably like 20 or 25 already. You've been through school all your life, and you have no idea who you are and what you're trying to do and what you're supposed to do. And you're just standing there. Okay, so what's next? Like and by the way, don't forget, these are your best ages. These are your best years, basically. At this stage, at a very young and early age, you are very, very open to learn and experiment. But anyway, you're spending most of your life, trained to be just a tool. And then after college or university, or even after high school, you're standing there. Okay, what's going to happen next? By the way, these decisions are not up to you. These decisions are up to your parents. And I'm not saying they do this to harm you, but they don't know any better most of the time. And then you're standing there. Okay, so what's going to next, right? That you have to get a job. That's the way of life. So okay, so you start working for someone else, and then you think, okay, now at least I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, right? Because I have tasks. People gave me tasks, so I'm doing those tasks. So right now you're keeping yourself busy, and then you'll turn 25, 30, 35, and you still haven't spent any time in yourself. Like, you really don't know who you are, what you're trying to do, but you've been trained to do something for someone else that is completely unrelated to you and completely probably doesn't make any sense to you, but you're not going to question these things, because who you are to question these things? You don't even know who you are, right? And you're not going to raise these questions because people will look at you like, okay, so who the hell is he? Like, he's an anarchist. Like, he wants to question the whole system that we've been living in and our parents and our grandparents used to live in. And you do your thing, right? And they put you in this social track, which is absolutely about anything else but you. Anything else but you. And if you can, and after a while, you get that's come. The next one is to have a family, like get a proper relationship. Try to agree to anything that your other half is supposed to argue about. So after a while, you just get tired of having a new relationship. So you settle with someone and you have a family, and you have to have kids, and then you die. So that's the story. So basically, you go to school, you go to job, you have a family, and you die. And in all this story, there is no moment in your life when you actually have time or willingness or help or anything to find out like who you were and what you were trying to do, and then what makes you happy, and what's the whole point? What's the whole point? Like, this is completely mental, and this social track, what I just described, of going to school, going to job, have a family, and die. I'm not saying it's the worst life ever, because in the history of humanity there were tougher times like this, like the lion ate you when you were 12. I'm not saying that was not that. So see, That's an all right. That's an acceptable compromise. But if you have any point, any given time in your life when you fell out of this track, and then you're lost. I saw this in so many cases when people are just like, for example, they're so dedicated to their job, to work for someone else, and basically, working for someone else will never get you ahead. They will never. It was designed to keep you constant where you are at right now. So you have to grind, and you have to come back next month and keep going and keep going until you can, like, you are physically capable. So that was, that this is a core concept of employment, is that you never let your employees be free. Like, you have to make sure that they'll come back for the next portion of the food next week or next month. And I saw in many cases when these traditional social tracks just fail someone. Like, someone who's super dedicated, super passionate about his job, and he thinks that he's valued. He thinks that he's considered to be. So he has this. And by the way, all the companies are using the emotional side, which is absolutely so it's a brutal, ruthless things to do. They try to appeal. They try to talk to your emotions. They're not telling you that this is a business relationship. You get money, I get resources, or I get skills, and that's it. No, they try to suggest you that this is your family, right? And we are friends here, of course, yes, sure. And if you are stupid enough to believe that, and one day you're going to wake up that you're fired, and then I saw this so many cases in people around me, that they just stand there like, okay, so what's next? So what's next? I thought this is my life. I thought I have a good purpose. I thought I'm doing fine. I did everything I could. I put in extra hours. I did everything I was told to do. And so what's next? I don't know, who am I? I don't know what am I supposed to do if not what I was just fired from. And unbelievable. It's crazy. It's mentally crazy to see 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 years old people with total confusion about who they are. It's just, these things should be clarified at age 10 or 15, no later than 15. And there are people that have no idea who they are in all their life. Today you can live a life without having the slightest sense of who you are and what you want to do. It's unbelievable to me. And another thing that I saw, and this is absolutely fits the system, is that even ourselves, because eventually if we go on this track, right, and everyone is trying to stay on the track, so we lock ourselves in this stupid slave life cycle. Because we're afraid what's beyond that, what's beside that. We don't know. We have no experience of living a life which is not about this. So we are so much afraid. And by the way, they keep telling you to be afraid. That's another beautiful part. They always suggest you that do not ever consider leaving this track, because if you're out of this track, you're not welcome back anymore. You're out. You're an outcast. Like, if you stop working for 6 months, people will look at you and say, what is this gap? What is this gap? Like, what do you mean, what is this gap? This is life, okay? I spent 6 months living. Actually, I did nothing else. I went in my garden. I was in my garden. I was planting trees, anything. It doesn't matter. It's just life. I was walking on the sun. I was thinking. I was talking to my brother. I was doing. I visited my grandma. I was doing life. And by the way, why do I have to explain myself to you? It's just totally, so frustrating. And so we are locking everyone is suggesting that we do this to each other as well. Like, okay, so what are you going to do? Are you sure you want to quit your job? You sure you have a good job? You have a good salary? True, it's not good enough to make you free, right? But it's like you can pay your bills. So you sure? Think twice. And everybody's putting this fear into you, like, okay, no, I shouldn't do this. I cannot do this. I'm going to die. Everyone around me going to die if I leave my job. So I have to hang on it. I have to agree to everything they tell me to do. And it's just crazy. It's really crazy. I don't know, guys. What do you think about this? But to me, this is. I mean, I think a lot about like what how amazing life is. Like I okay. So first of all, I had dark thoughts in my life since I was 10. Really, I had a rough childhood. I already said that many times. I don't know. I think a lot. So and I had depressed moments, recurring depressed periods of my life. This is not really something new to me, or and I also thought about like suicidal thoughts. When you think about like, okay, I had enough of this shit. Like it doesn't make any sense. We're not getting anywhere with this, and I'm just having problems all the time. Like if you think you solve a problem today, tomorrow two new will come and pop up because probably we're not fixing the right problems. It's just I'm just questioning it. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is that uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. By the way, I don't know the solution, so I really don't have a solution. I certainly believe that we have to spend more time on thinking, and we have to spend more time on who we are and what makes us happy, and we have to find our own way because when you're born, when you grow up, you're not really having your own way. You are having a way what your parents think that is good for you, and not even good for you, by the way. They think it's safe for you. They want to put you on a track which is safe for you, not good for you. For them, that's the most important thing, that you have to be safe, but probably that's just killing you. If the safe route, if the safe trip is not anything that you can relate to. And changing this track is unbelievably difficult. It's really really difficult. If you want to change this track, you have to create a new path. You have to dream a new path, and then you have to walk on it alone, because most of the time when major decisions are up to, you are always alone. So, and by the way, because of the consequences will impact you in the first place. Even if people helping you with advice, you're the one who will suffer the consequences. So you're always alone when it comes to big decisions. So and we are trained to be afraid of losing this track. We are trained to stay on the track and just obey. That's what we're trained of. And I saw this. What drives me crazy, because that is just, to me, is just, I really, it's very difficult to put into words how I feel about it. But I guess you can see, it frustrates the hell out of me. And what also drives me crazy, that I saw intelligent, smart people with emotion and thoughts and experience. They are enforcing themselves. After a while, you learn to be you learn, that's the only thing you learn, like how to stay on the track, how to stay a slave. And then you start to convince yourself, that you start to convince yourself that that's what you're only capable of. And you not even you yourself start to be afraid of spending time doing stuff that is relating to you. You're afraid to take time and think about who you are. You just rather be busy. Doesn't matter what. You have to do something. Just don't think, because thinking about stuff that we have no clue and should be super basic is just a realization that we probably fucked up our life. Probably that's not something that, and it's extreme. I don't know if it's even possible to fix it. I really don't know. But again, so anyway, guys, yeah, today I'm not in a good mood, as you can tell. These thoughts are always with me. Me personally, I don't know the solution. I'm thinking about the solution 24/7. I'm very much convinced that the first step towards the solution in this never-ending stupid cycle is to start spending time on ourselves. Start thinking about who you are as a human being in the first place. Your job, give a fuck, doesn't matter. I know you say we have to pay bills, but etc. etc. But you have to believe me that the fear about this subject is way 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 bigger than the actual threat in real life. We Fear is it's a crazy ass thing, because fear. I mean, fear is useful to some extent, but most of us are having way too much fear because it's a very difficult to control our fear, very difficult to measure it and keep it under control. You really don't see the different scales of fear. You just have, and when someone puts you in a position where you have to be afraid, you will not realize that this fear is just putting, like, this is way too much. This is unrealistic now. This is way too much. This is basically paralyzing me. So you have to keep your fear levels low artificially. You have to push them down. You have to say, okay, I know this. I understand a fear is a signal. I got the signal. I'll be careful. I'll think twice. But I'm still going to do and what I want to do. And I'm still going to go ahead and think about what I want to think about. Fear, don't let fear control your life all the time. That's just a horrible, horrible thing to do. And I know we still want to be safe. We don't want to get hurt and stuff like that. But if these things frustrates you, then you have to face your fears and take them under control. Anyway, so guys, this was my pretty long video, as I see, for today. I really don't know. I don't have any solution to this so far, but I keep thinking. And one thing I'm almost certain about is that we have to understand who we are as a person. That's the first step. Spend more time on yourself. That means, by the way, that also means working out. Every day you should do at least 30 minutes working out. Just go and run. Just go and walk. You don't even have to work out. If you want to look good, you lift weights, etc. You can do that too. It's good. Or you do whatever you want. Just do some physical exercise. That's very important. Spend time on yourself. Do physical workout, run, walk, and think. Think about who you are. Think about your surroundings, the people around you, that people are more important to you, what you want, how you're going to achieve that. And don't let this whole pre-laid out route that is presented in front of you trick you. This is most likely not your track. If it is your track and you're happy, it's cool, go with it. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I'm disappointed. I'm most of the time I'm depressed because of this, and I'm looking for change. I'm looking for something. But we'll see. Anyway, these were my thoughts for today, guys. Thank you.